of the TDC Today Show that was founded over a decade ago by Jay Stoyan and is headquartered in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and is all about radio, TV, like the media industry, and helping people with disabilities and veterans with things in the media industry. And they have a lot of different podcasts and programs going on. And so we have some good guests today on the show. Our first guest is a longtime contributor of the show, Marianne of Waikiki, who we met through the Happy Neighborhood Project, as an author, author, app developer, sign language interpreter, among other things. So, Marianne, why don't you come in here and say about who you are, what you do, that kind of thing?
Yes, well, hola and aloha, Emily and Kurt and Sue. Thank you so much for having us here every Saturday. Everybody is welcome to join in and share your stories and acts of kindness. We just had a speaker from the Acts of Kindness Summit, Tammy Rader here, sharing her story and her journey and her products. And well, with sharing our story and products through the Happy Neighborhood projects during the pandemic. And I was a co-host, and I became the HNP Ability Sign Language Interpreter. And through my journey, I met several amazing people. Actually, 2 years ago, the past week of the 4th of July, I met Liddy through Happy Neighborhood Project, who's an intellectual property attorney out of Orlando, who is actually federally trademarking now the Acts of Kindness book series. So yes, I am the author of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 full Manus puppets. The books are written for animations with sign language characters and soundtrack by our local artist, I Lucy and the Perfect Wave. And Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. And the first book is called Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring Noah, the hard-of-hearing whale, who was recruited by the general of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. And we have 500 million people worldwide now with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home to take care of their own children or grandchildren. And through that pandemic, I was gifted some funds, and I continued to write online courses for each of the chapters with the characters such as Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, for the first book. And you can go visit the website, and you can visit Apple, and you can test your skills by learning the ASL, American Sign Language Finger Spelling Alphabet, the ABCs, the 26 letters, and then you can go play the games and test your skills of finger spelling, spelling the sea creatures' names, counting life jackets. You know, we got water skiers here. I'm a boater, sailor, and it's a great journey. And it's really what's happening globally around the world, and the Great Pacific Garbage Patches between Hawaii and California. So a little information how I kind of got started is in 1999, Captain Moore crossed in the Transpac, and they do 2 years from Los Angeles to Honolulu, Hawaii Yacht Club, Waikiki Yacht Club. And actually the sailors are sailing this year. They're going to be arriving this year. And Captain Moore sailed through this Great Pacific Garbage Patch and saw the soupy mess of all this plastic swirling around. And there's an organization like Boynton Slat, who is a European young adult who created up this kind of robot machine to sweep around and pick up all the garbage. And he's now doing it worldwide. And it's just an amazing journey. So, I shout out to all the sailors that are going. It's several weeks of a journey. It's a long haul. I've done that. Not the Transpac, but I've sailed around Florida for 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles, and I actually got the book signed with this book at Key West Aquarium, Marathon Aquarium, and went back to Hawaii, and I ran into my special education teacher friend, Marianne Rogers, who introduced me to this organization called Donors Choose. And she and I had met at Starbucks. She pulled out her laptop, applied for my books. Within 10 minutes, we wrote it down. It was ocean cleanup. And the second book was Gravity, Kindness, No Bully for Anti-Bullying. And she posted it, and within 2 weeks, she was funded. So her classroom read the books, and then I went out later and brought the Pokemon as puppets, and we passed them around and learned the sign language alphabet and taught the story in Hawaii about what we can do to better our world. And it's great literacy to talk the story and bring it home to families, grandparents, tutus, Hana in Hawaii. And so I have a background here. It's Donors Choose, again, all classroom teachers in the United States of America. Now there's 30,000 schools, 3,000 deaf-blind schools. Teachers just need to take 10 minutes of Amazon, and someone's going to do their kindness to fund it. So I'm currently in San Carlos, Mexico. I got to do a sailing journey and working on the climate change book, Cool Acts of Kindness, featuring a female whale named Waterflow. And we're partnering with Water Foundation, Leanne McLaughlin. And it's just been an amazing journey to start this work. It's been more of a game changer because through the Happy Neighborhood projects, I was introduced to Tony Hunt, who was talking about this Now site and lead generation. It kind of started out for like real estate and realtors, but it's expanded. It's such a game changer. So 2 weeks ago, I had a demonstration from him on the laptop, and we just put it in a few words series. Anti-bullying books, app games, animation movies, and it wrote a nice little short paragraph about my series. And then we went on to the lead part where we put in elementary teachers, and it gave me a list of elementary teachers. And it can go on and on. It can teachers, and I mean, you can just plug in these keywords. It's amazing. I plugged in write a song for Waterflow. Within 3 minutes, there's a song. Within 3 minutes, I had a new website. And this artificial intelligence brought up where it had a heart and it had children and signing. I don't know. It's intuitive information in there. It was just amazing. Within 3 minutes. Okay. So, and Suzanne Sims and I, my co-writer, we're running for Awesome Foundation grant out of Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii, where she won a $1,000 grant. And I plugged it in to write for Suzanne Sims to receive $1,000. We have a soundtrack. Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. Within 3 minutes, it wrote a grant to Awesome Foundation. I sent it to Suzanne. I'm like, this is just blowing me away of what it can do. So there are some limitations. I'm overusing it. I'm just so excited. It's like Christmas for me. So you can only put so much in because I'm trying to create the characters for this next climate change book. And it goes, nope, you did too much today, something else. But then I went into give me grants, okay? And it gave me a list of grants of people for just how I can contact the Acts of Kindness. Then I asked it, how can I write a query letter and who do you suggest? Because I want to know who J.K. Rowling's editor, literary agent. It gave me a list of all these different organizations. So I went right away and got onto their website and got onto their newsletter. So if AI is telling this stuff, of how to use it, and how much easier we can get these acts of books out there. Schools, libraries, deafblind schools, and it also told me how to contact some organizations to get funded for the animation movies, for sign language, and for my app games. So I got lots to do this summer since I'm not sailing, but I'm looking really excited to it because it's 85 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, so air conditioning on top, and I'm just gonna have a blast. I'm not a gambler, but it's kind of like you put these words into it in 3 minutes, boom, you're a winner. Because oh my gosh, it just saved me so much time. So I'm so grateful I got to meet everybody through the HAP projects. And I'll pass over to our next guest. So that's been my experience. So go out and play. Website's up, actsofkindnessseries.com. There's a QR code. We're uploading all the books and products and videos in the next week. So thank you so much, and I am happy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marianne. Always a thrill to hear what's all happening with you, and I'm excited. We're playing a bit with that Now site and the technology that's there, that artificial intelligence. It's amazing what it can all do, and it's not hard. Any of us can use it. It's actually just 5 minutes of somebody showing you some basics, and you can be up and running and figuring it all out. So I think it's super cool, and I'm excited for what you've all been able to do already with that. So now we do have another guest joining us here. I just want to reach out and ask real quick with Beth if you are in a good spot, if you'd like to come on and join us and say hello to everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. I'm on some pain stuff and it makes me tired, but I think I didn't get enough sleep last night. But this is great stuff you guys got here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to just introduce yourself a little bit and tell everybody who you
Sure.
are?
I'm a disability mediator and I also do marketing and I'm a writer. And I don't know what else there is to say. I'm going to school in August for mediation, and I'm taking some mediation classes. And that's about it. It's enough to keep me really busy.
Excellent. Very good. So, well, how did you get introduced to the crew here? I'm trying to remember actually where the connection.
Well, I think initially I got started on Facebook. It was something that Emily and Kurt had posted. Something about the world of ability or something like that. Disability now, ability now, something, and it spoke to me, and so I just jumped on, and from then on I've been hooked.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
There's so many things, so many moving parts, and so many fun people that we've had the chance to meet along the way here. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, I know you said with the writing that you do, I think you might have some fun too with what the artificial intelligence abilities are out there. I wonder, you should play with that a little bit, see what you end up thinking of all that too, because that might be a fun time saver along the way. It's
But artificial intelligence isn't new. I mean, I have dystonia, and I know people who are worse off with dystonia use motorized things like move their arms if they can't. That's been around for a while. It's just not real public because it's a real rare thing, and they're still in the working stage, brain and body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's the
so
brain
cool.
itself. And even if I'm almost completely deaf, and I have a head injury, and they don't understand why I have language as good as I do, but it's a part of my brain. I'm autodidactic, so I taught myself to learn language. And I just watched people and did Sesame Street, and I did, what else did I do? Mr. Rogers, he teaches you how to get along with people and get along in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And I still watch things now and then, and I like the Pink Panther. You know, it's just fun, and it's really a cartoon for adults rather than kids. And I like intelligent TV. I watch a lot of Channel 2, and so I learned a lot from that.
Awesome.
I'm into animals and insects, but not more animals than insects. I don't like the spider or the fly. But I'm okay with them, but Yeah.
That's all right. I think you would actually really enjoy what Marianne does too with her, with the animals that she has incorporated into all of her books, and that it is hers. You know what? Hang on a second. Hold on up. In her book.
That is cool.
That
That's
here,
really
and this fun friend.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Albert loves it.
First, the finger spell, and he, the hard of hearing, black spoons is his hearing. He has a brief clinic spelling, and yes, he's a large puppet. I have a show that will be to the ABCs, and that shock language, very language. King Octo, that of peace, happiness, and enable for the sick Octo, and Florence, and Sea Turtle of the New Earth Army, the Hurricane Pacific garbage between California around the world. And we have 1 billion people.
But that's from companies. I have UGBs, and the other thing I learned, sorry, was how I learned management. My first, it was around when I was little, but I didn't have knowledge. Learned a lot from that. In school, and I knew history. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, that's
Favorite league in American Stable, except to talk about Roosevelt. Much about it. History was bad.
and everybody learns differently. So this is for learning. We're all different, right? It's a matter of who, and the us to be able to have for just communication. It's a
Computer side and just Google and kaleidoscope or whatever. Many people use that. I don't know about that side. Yeah.
Well, what I would think too was people were hearing in the military can't hear, so books in the free from donors. This book about anti language, maybe you know, and took a class to school to be technology, and I went to sign language, and I became for the of future sign language nurses use the hospital room went into this world and back in diapers such as a stroke saying, I'm thirsty, I dive down. Sign, story, and anything with sign characters. So your next JK, don't tell like hello and Walmart and Amazon 100 fluffy, large, small, full man to create it, and the creativity and imagination. And you know, now I had some funding. Now I can show the app game site, look at brands and organization. And I do believe on a new home. And they're out of Texas. Created and it's huge. So I had a podcast later this week. My intellectual attorney, Lydia, talked to people and talked to her about this to character stage. And I just I'm doing good news, and I'm working on the cool acts of kindness, climate change, partnering on clean water. I'm going to go on in the future, and that's the good news about people. That's something is and yeah, we can just share the good news.
Thank you enough for being here, and because yeah, there's much need. There some kind of a hearing difficult, and the military it so I bring forward. So Marianne,